In the early days of HubSpot, when Brian and Dharmesh started it as a two-person company, it actually started with content creation. So when blogging wasn't really a big thing, those two guys and the team that they were building out was really heavy on content first that was advantageous for the people reading it and our potential customers. So what that looked like was HubSpot.com was having a blog, and we were writing things around topics like how to do search engine optimization or how to have people find your website. And so through that, they actually had built up this pretty big following from organic search like Google, Bing, Yahoo, for people searching these phrases that they were looking for help with, which then brought them to find us. And we then put buttons and downloads on the page with white papers and guides, and it was a really big conversion point. I think one good example of this was Dharmesh, our CTO and co-founder, had built what's called the Website Grader, which still exists. So I believe it's website.grader.com. And what it does is you put your email address in and your website in, and it analyzes how strong the performance of your website actually is and gives you feedback. It was a huge source of lead gen for us, and it also allowed us to help people without humans, but then when humans jumped in to say, let's evaluate, it helped us build trust and credibility, and we gave them great solutions and suggestions, which then led to us getting early traction from that channel. I think the content marketing is still super relevant, and a good place for people to start is if they have customers or if they're just trying to get customers and they're talking to people and surveying people, if there's a common theme of questions that come up from their end. So maybe for example is, how do I do X? The how-to questions are usually great pieces of inspiration to actually write an article and then share that with them. They might share it with their networks. Social media is really important now. So when you interview people in the early days, if there's common threads of questions that are being asked to you, think about writing an article on it to help answer that at scale. Because you just direct people back to that and have that article answer for you. And then you can start driving traffic to your website too. So it connects back into your marketing funnel to allow you to actually engage with people. A couple other pieces as well is social media is so valuable today that if you're gonna write content in the form of a blog or even just doing a tweet or a Facebook post, continue to post it out and reach out to people and ask them to share it. Your network and the network that people have worked really hard to build may be some of the best assets you can leverage from an early day entrepreneur trying to understand how to get traction for their company. I think there are three main mistakes that startups make when doing content marketing. The first one, and I think that we get in our own way, is we care to write about ourselves a lot. And when we write about ourselves, when people come to find us, they don't really care that much about you, right? People are researching for them. So put your content in the best interest of that potential customer, the person that can find you. So don't write about yourself, unless if it's for PR or an announcement. Sometimes people do care about that, but find value in giving content away and education away. The second is, if you're writing the content, make sure to actually optimize it for Google, meaning SEO is really key. If you write a piece of content that takes you anywhere from an hour to a couple of days to write and you're not optimized, nobody's gonna find it. So what I mean by that is there's little areas in your website called page title tags that you can add the topics that you're writing about instead of your brand name. That is the first place Google looks at to say what you do. So not your company name, but how to solve X or how to do Y. That's the second piece. And the third piece is once people actually find you, give them something to do. A lot of people don't put calls to actions or tips on their website for people to download. Give them something. That way you know who's coming by your website. You worked really hard to get them there. Now give them something, add value to them, and hopefully get a little value back by knowing who they are. There's a business actually in Boston that is just starting out, raised a few bucks from friends and family just to get the business off the ground and build the infrastructure for it. The founders are actually engineers, and they have never done sales before, they've never done marketing before, and they didn't really know where to begin. So they found HubSpot, and they downloaded HubSpot's free CRM and got a sales pipeline actually built. They have a couple customers, and customers for startups are the best place to start to try to figure out growth. Now it's time to nurture. So with email marketing and what's called marketing automation, they can now automatically engage with these people without having to call. They can send email notifications to the people coming by pricing pages, coming by product pages, and help educate them along the way. There's two ways that startups can get started using HubSpot. The first way is we now have 3 free tools. We have a free sales tool, a free CRM, and free marketing products. The second way is we're building a program called HubSpot for Startups, which is a scholarship for seed stage companies that have been in accelerators or incubators that have less than $1 million in funding and less than $1 million in lifetime revenue. We are offering a scholarship for them to get started using HubSpot's complete package at a fraction of the cost. So they can go to HubSpot.com/startups to learn more about the program and apply to get started with that. So growth mindset at HubSpot, I think can actually be summarized in one phrase, and this is a quote I just stumbled upon, and it really rings true to me, is growth is not going from wrong to right. Growth is going from wrong to a little less wrong, which is really interesting. So in most businesses, there's not an aha moment where, oh, we did this one thing that skyrocketed our sales. It's actually a lot of steps along the way and a lot of tests and iterations.